Salvē, amici, and welcome. Today we're going to be taking a look at John chapter 4, verses 27 and 28. But first, last time in John chapter 4. There we have it. Here's the rubric, everything we look for as we go through the text. Let's go ahead and get started. Well, my dear new roommate, refrigerator, burbles in the background. Et continuo venerunt discipuli eius, et mirabantur quia cum muliere loquebatur nemo tamen. Dixit quid quaeris, aut quid loqueris cum ea. Reliquit ego ergo hudriam suam mulier et abiit in civitatem et digit illis hominibus. And that's as far as we're going to make it. The very first word we have is, of course, our coordinated conjunction, which we see all the time connecting these paragraphs together. But continuo is an adverb I don't think that we have seen before. It's just from, I think, continuous. I don't remember if continuous has actually two U's like I'm saying it or not. But anyway, it looks like it's one of the ablative ending adverbs. And it means immediately, forthwith. You would think continuous, but it's a similar idea. It's continuous with the previous event, therefore immediately. I think forthwith is the better of the two options. Venerunt, of course, we have erunt, therefore the perfect ending of this in the third person in plural. It's active and indicative. And then our subject we have right here with discipuli, that long I, and eius, as we've seen many times before, is just owning discipuli, no need to parse it. Et is connecting with mirabantur, a different clause, so we can go ahead and finish this one. There we go, barring a few errors. Mirabantur, we have our bantur ending, the nt telling us this is a third person and it is plural. Mira is our present stem, but with ba, it's of course imperfect. And then the tur, you are right there, tells us that this is a passive verb, and it is indicative as well. And then qui is going to introduce a statement of a different type, so this is self-contained. We can just say, and they were marveling or wondering. Quia, that. Cum, prepositional phrase right there with mulier as the object that prays a, short e plus ablative. Singular and feminine of the third declension. Loquebatur, another imperfect tense right there, the third person singular. It's passive in form, but I stuck myself just in time. It is a deponent. You can't really read that. Deponent, which we've seen before, I believe, as well. Indicative. And it, of course, just means to speak with, to converse with, and I've got the prepositional phrase for that. Nemo tamen is a post-positive word, so that we know that this is a new clause right here, so we need to put a comma in to stop them. All right, and then nemo, of course, is nominative, singular, and masculine. And our verb is dixit, the T right there. We've seen it before. We don't need to parse it. Quid is part of a new clause, so put another comma there. Yet, because of tamen, no one said. Quid, we have two different options for this. It could be why as an interrogative, or it could be what as a, again, an interrogative. In order to figure that out, we need to take a look at the verb, which we have is quaeris. We have is right there, quaero, quaerere. So that's going to be a second person singular present tense. It's active and it is indicative. And that just tells us, no, sorry, unrelated. So why are you seeking? That doesn't make much sense. So instead, what as the accusative singular and neuter interrogative makes more sense. Or asking. Out or just disjunctive, which is not spelled with an A, or, and then quid, we had the same problem there. So taking a look at loqueris, we already know speaking. So what are you speaking? Cum ea? I suppose it makes a little bit of sense, but the adverb, I think, is the one that is a better fit. Why? Same as this, except that we know that this is a deponent. Prepositional phrase, ea, that's going to be a long A there, plus ablative, singular and feminine. Verse 28. Reliquit ergo, therefore. It is, of course, a third person singular ending, and we have the options of either the perfect tense, which is what it usually has been for these uncertain tense verbs, or the present tense. It is active and it is indicative. Took a look at the Greek beforehand, and it is, the Greek uses a aorist tense, I think it was, of eureka, and so that would correspond to the perfect in Latin, so that makes the most sense right there. So left behind, set down, hudriam, am right there for our accusative singular feminine direct object. Suam owns hudriam, that goes there, and then mulier is in with the er is in our nominative singular feminine form for the subject. Another verb right there, so connecting a clause, we could stop there. Therefore, woman left her. Or were we using jug? I don't remember, probably jar. That would make a lot more sense. Et and. It, the two I's right there, sometimes the form of this verb will be with a V, though I don't know if that's normal with the prefix ob. Come to think of it, I don't know that I know in the lexica and the grammars, this verb is shown with either II or IVI for the perfect tense, but I don't know that I've ever seen IVI or IV anything except for errant for this verb out in the wild, as it were. Anyway, so this is very normal. Letter V, which looks like a carrot. Make it look less like a carrot. There. Now it looks like the letter 5. And she went. And I'm going to translate ab as out, or no, away, because she's not in a building. They're around a well, and out, that would be out in the outdoors. So away makes more sense. In prepositional phrase, civitatem, verb right there, so prepositional phrase ends with this. Em tells us that this is going to be plus the accusative, and it is singular, and civitatis is a feminine. Forgot for a moment. Into town is probably a better translation, but kept it that way for too long. And dicit, this one's with the C right there, is going to be a present tense. She says, ilis, from ile, ila, elod, is right there is our dative plural, and it's common between masculine, feminine, and neuter. And of course it is the indirect object with the verb of speaking, hominibus, ibus right there. This is also going to be dative plural. But hominus is a masculine noun, so cross out that common, change to masculine to match its referent. And that is the end of this verse. She says to those people or men. Probably people, since it's the whole city that she's talking to. All right, let's take a look at this in its own context. And forthwith his disciples came, and they were marveling that with a woman he was speaking. Yet no one said, "What are you seeking?" or "Why are you speaking with her?" Therefore a woman left her water jar, and she went away into city. And she says to those people. There we have it. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope taking a look at this has been helpful for you, and I hope that you have a very good day. Well,